talk to you a little bit about lifecycle management. That's a word we hear in our industry. LinkSource does do telecom lifecycle management, but you're a very unique company. Share with us a little bit more detail what those words mean, lifecycle management, in terms of what LinkSource does with your customers.
Yeah, this is a term that I realize that is used quite a bit. We have a methodology that we utilize that's really been a proven methodology. We take a real holistic approach with our customers. Simply, we have 6 steps that we go through, and I wouldn't say that your customers just jump into step 1. They go into any one of those 6 steps, and it goes fairly deep from there. But the reality is when you follow the methodology that we have in these 6 steps, which really go from auditing to optimization and inventory to Rfp management to contract management, project management, procurement management, and telecom expense management. When you follow these steps, there is a significant amount of efficiencies in optimization that comes with that, and there's also a significant amount of ROI that ends up coming with following that process. So for us, it's getting in there and understanding exactly everything you do as a company related to telecom, and then taking all that information and also putting it into an application, if you will, that will allow you to manage it moving forward. So you got to know where your contracts are. You need to know or have the right terms and conditions in those contracts. Rfp management is another big challenge for companies. So we have a hosted application that we help run those RFPs, which we'll probably talk a little bit later in this segment.
Yeah, I definitely want to get into some details around that. One of the other questions I have for you. We live in this world now. It's called BYOD, bring your own device. And even today, all of us sitting here, we have phones, tablets, laptops, and even desktops. And no matter who you are, what government or organization you work for, chances are you have devices issued by your organization you're working for, as well as your own devices. Can you comment on the impact that BYOD is having on government as well as the telecom infrastructure?
The BYOD really came out hot over the last few years, and it really served the purpose of reducing costs and controlling costs. But it also created several other challenges in the business. At the end of the day, you ultimately can't tell an employee what to do with their own device, which forced companies to start looking at mobile device management solutions that really help them be more secure, if you will, with accessing the network. So, at the end of the day, it still presents a considerable amount of challenges because the security is still an issue. There's all kinds of interesting wireless access points becomes still quite the problem.
Stephanie, let me ask you to comment on that too, because in most infrastructures, whether you're a sheriff's department or you're the Department of Agriculture, chances are you've issued people that are out in the field a phone, a tablet, and computer. Can you comment a little bit on the impact that BYOD is having on an enterprise infrastructure?
Certainly. BYOD has impacted the ability to get information, especially in government, out to the citizens in a quicker, easier manner. It's also enabled law enforcement, other types of oversight entities to have access to that critical information that they need sooner rather than later. What comes into play then is how do you manage those? How do you secure them? How do you ensure that when they're lost or stolen, or even the data is being transmitted, that they are secure? So as Kurt said, the mobile device management comes into play. And with BYOD, you have to make sure, again, from a privacy and a security issue, that you have policies in place, that you're doing things correctly, that you're not creating undue liability for yourself or your company.